Hello. If you haven't done breath work yet, I super encourage you to do it. And I have some exciting news. I will be incorporating in a breathwork module. So it will have guided sessions. I've been working with a breathwork facilitator, and you will have guided sessions in your Practice Better module to be able to do whenever you are able to. And I encourage you to do them. So there's a 30-minute session and a 1 hour session. So whatever you have the time or space for, take the time and do it because breath work can be powerful. I did a breath work session today with my mentor, and it was in the middle of a call, kind of threw me off guard. We were in the middle of working out some things, and middle of a call, he's like, okay, we're going to do some breath work now. And we maybe did breath work for 10 to 15 minutes. I kind of just lost track of time because you just get so grounded and so in the moment where nothing else matters. That is when your nervous system can like calm down. You can tune into your higher self. And I encourage you to do that. Give yourself that gift of, up to 30 minutes of doing breath work because it can shift your whole state of being. It can create new ideas. It can give you that sense of calm and grounding that you are going to be more productive taking that time to ground yourself than you are just running around like a crazy person, like a chicken with your head cut off. So we're going to talk a little bit about the nervous system today. And I want you to just start out by sitting down. We're just going to take a couple of deep breaths and let it out with a sigh. Sighing is a great way to relieve stress. Just ground yourself and be ready to learn and to be open and be vulnerable with yourself to see what areas you might need improvement on. The nervous system is important. The nervous system is your body's master communication network. The nervous system controls every organ, every thought, every movement, all emotions. And if your nervous system is all over the place, all of those areas are going to be all over the place. So it's off. This might lead to stress, fatigue, pain, illness, just not functioning as our highest selves. And we as human beings are meant to function as our highest self, connect to a higher power, be high vibrational beings, be the light. So in order to emit light, our nervous system needs to be calm. So when our nervous system is balanced, we feel calm, we feel focused, we feel healthy, we have high resilience to be able to adapt to stress. So we want to up that resilience score so we are able to adapt to the stressful situations that we might be facing in everyday life. So thinking back in primal days, our nervous system was very on point. Think back, we were probably sleeping on the ground, grounding. You're out in nature. There's no electronics. There's no phones. There's no stress. There's no constant like getting a hold of you, unknowing. You spent your days foraging, putting things together, helping the kids, just everyday things that we now take for granted or use as a vacation or just a way of life. So your nervous system was back in the day, in primal days, was in a very parasympathetic state until a tiger came and chased you, or you had to run from a bear. Then you shifted into that fight or flight, that sympathetic state. You ran from the bear, you got away, you saved yourself, you saved your family, and everything was okay. And then you shifted back into a calm state. So with the world we live in now, we often live in a sympathetic dominant state. So that means our body constantly thinks it's running from a bear or a tiger, constantly is in that state of stress, and it doesn't know how to shift from turning that on to turning that back off again. So just going back to some of the basics of that are included in the morning routine. I'll drop that link too, but the morning routine, get out and get some sunshine within the first 10 minutes or first hour, ideally, of your day for at least 10 minutes. Ground. If you can put your feet barefoot on the ground, that helps you ground to the earth. The earth actually emits a resonance called the Schumann resonance, and that has a frequency. And we, as human beings, vibe with that frequency very well. So it has healing benefits to the body. It decreases inflammation and it promotes a sense of grounding and calmness. Gentle, joyful movement. Stretching, joyful movement, going for a walk, bringing your dog for a walk. That helps calm your nervous system because you're connecting with nature. Looking at patterns in nature. If you're watching waves on a beach, super therapeutic. Those repeating patterns in nature are very therapeutic. In a forest, there's repeating patterns of leaves and of trees. Your body likes that. It's a sense of safety. So getting yourself, forest bathing is now a thing. Go out in the forest and walk around and be in nature. Uh, Grounding, morning sunlight, connection and joy. We live in a world where we have all of these tools to connect to people, and we are probably one of the most disconnected times in our lives. So go out and have human connection. Put your phone on do not disturb. No one should have access to you 24/7. Your nervous system stresses out on that. Put your phone on do not disturb. You can make it so certain people can come through. So for myself, my husband and my daycare can get through to me when my phone is on do not disturb, and that is it. And I can tell you I'm more productive throughout the day. My nervous system isn't stressed out every time my phone goes off. I never have my ringer on. And even if your phone just lights up, it's a sense of like, oh, what should I be doing? Oh, I should be going and doing that. Oh, what am I missing? Flip it over or put it on do not disturb so you don't even see the screen, because you might not think it affects you and it really does. So that sense of calm is achieved more easily when your nervous system can actually truly be calm and not be worried about all the disturbances that might be coming up. Because your nervous system controls a lot of things in your body. It's controlling your heart rate, your blood pressure, your breathing, how well you digest your food, how hot or cold you are, how your muscles move, how your reflexes work, which a lot of people are super stuck in a fear state. But that moral reflex is what it's called, can be stuck. How balanced you are in walking or in doing activities. Coordination. How well you feel touch or how well you feel pain is associated with the nervous system. Your thoughts and your emotions. So this can be like your mood, how well you focus, how fast you learn things, your memory, your decision making. And then even things like hormones, your immune system, and inflammation is all tied back to the nervous system. So if the nervous system isn't balanced, nothing else in the body can fully heal. That's why it is so important to give your nervous system love. You don't want to be stuck in fight or flight. And the reset is it works really well at calming that nervous system down. What I find is post reset, sometimes it's easy to slip back into those bad habits. So if you're slipping back into those bad habits, do another reset. Do another round of the reset. Improve your sleep, improve your nervous system, improve your resilience, because that way your body's not constantly having to battle all of these different things. Because when your nervous system is calm, your body finally functions the way it should, the way that God intended it to. So other things to take into consideration that might be throwing your nervous system off, that stress, right? So what's your job? What's your relationship? What do you need to cut out of your life? What do you need to balance in your life? Trauma. This could be past trauma. This could be present trauma. This could be things from your childhood, anywhere between the ages of 0 to 7. If you had traumatic events in that time frame, that could be shaping your experiences now as an adult and what issues you're dealing with. So you might have to go back and do a little bit of that inner child work. For me, I find that breath work is very good at getting back to that point. And I've learned there was a lot of issues in my childhood that I really shoved away. I wasn't ready to touch them. And it even gives me goosebumps now. Like, now that I am touching them, I am acknowledging them. I am saving that little girl that needed saving because nobody else would save her. That is healing. That heals your heart. That heals your body. And the breath is probably one of the most powerful medicines that we have. And it's not hard to do. We just need to take the time and prioritize that time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. I know you can take the time for it. Get rid of your TV. That is the best thing that we ever did in my family. We got rid of our TV. Beautiful. You have so much more time to read books. You have more time to do board games with your loved ones. Find where you're spending your time. and decrease the things that are not serving you. How much time are you spending on Facebook? Is that serving you? How much time are you spending on Instagram or other social media outlets? Is that serving you? Really evaluate your time. I challenge you to do that this week. Evaluate your time. How much time are you spending on the TV? And write it down. This is an exercise that I've done is you write down in 15-minute blocks what you do all day long. Where are you wasting your time? We waste a lot of time and we don't even realize it. So other things that might throw the nervous system off, toxins. So what's in your environment? Are there things that you still need to up level in your home? Maybe it's something as simple as your toothpaste, your cleaning products, making sure you're not going back in the habit of having processed foods. Is it making sure you are not using any spray on your lawns or in your gardens? Is it switching to organic foods? Because not regular foods that are not organic have a higher amount of pesticides, herbicides, glyphosate in them. So switching to organic would help decrease that toxin load. Is there mold in your house that you might need to address? If there is, reach out to me so I can help you with that. So you don't spend tens of thousands of dollars when you don't have to. There are ways that you can deal with mold. Sleep. Sleep is our number one way to repair and reset our body. If you are not getting that good quality sleep, how can we improve that sleep environment? Maybe it is getting room darkening shades, changing your lighting. If your lighting sucks, your sleep is going to suck. So red light bulbs at night. It sounds like a silly thing, but red light bulbs at night, once again, going back to our primal days, we sat around a fire, right? There was no lights. There was fire, there was candlelight. So that orange glow doesn't disrupt your sleep. Lights, fluorescent lights, blue light, TV, computer monitors, all of that does disrupt your sleep. So you can also do these glasses. So these are Viva Ray glasses. I'll show you here. So these are actually the prescription ones. So these ones block out blue light. So I should technically have these on when I'm on the computer, and I do usually when I'm not on the call. They also have orange ones that can go on. These are more for in the afternoon, which actually my eyes really like these right now. And then these red ones are more for at night. So this helps block out all the blue light, and it does make everything red. But once your eyes do adjust, you do get used to it. Just make sure if you're photo editing or doing anything that requires you to actually see color correctly, you're not going to want to have these on. But it helps your body so you're not constantly trying to figure out what time of day it is. I'm actually going to keep these orange ones on because these resonate really well with me right now. And my eyes have been a little bit off today because I've been on camera a lot without my lenses on. So shame on me for that. I was on a lot of video calls today. So sleep is important. Maybe it is getting different bedding. So you and your spouse each have their own blanket. My husband and I do this because I found that if he rolls around in the middle of the night and I get a waft of air, or he yanks the covers off me, it was disturbing my sleep a lot. So we each have our own blanket. We're still sleeping in the same bed. Someone told me today they do this in Europe. I didn't even know that. So each get your own blanket, you might sleep better. Linen sheets, evaluate the fabrics on your bed. Are you sleeping on synthetic fabrics or polyester? That's plastic, not good for your health. So linen sheets are a very high vibrational fabric. Keep in mind that even in the Bible, it says don't have linen and wool on at the same time. That's because they're the same frequency. If you wear them at the same time or you have them on your bed at the same time, they cancel each other out. And then there's no healing benefit there. So one or the other. If I have my linen sheets on my bed, I usually have a cotton blanket. If I have my wool blanket, I'll put cotton sheets on my bed. So just keeping that in mind and being aware of the fabrics that you're putting on your body, and even clothes. Jeans are usually okay. They're usually cotton or mostly cotton. But take a peek at your sweaters, at your t-shirts. If they're polyester, that's not serving you. Take a peek at your underwear, your bras. Those are really close to lymph nodes, really close to mucous membranes. Get some better quality fabric, especially when you're sleeping, so you can sleep better too. Nutrient deficiencies. So if you're on the reset, you're probably getting a very wide variety of nutrients, but if you've fallen off and you're in bad habits, you might be a little bit nutrient deficient and your body can't function very well when it's nutrient deficient. So you want to make sure you're getting enough minerals, enough electrolytes, enough protein and carbs and fats, and balancing that out so your blood sugar doesn't spike. Because if your blood sugar is going up and down, that stresses out your body. Overstimulation. This is one that I believe everyone faces probably every day. We now have, I mean, you even think 30 years ago, nobody had a phone. Now everyone has a phone and they spend up to 8 hours a day on it. That is stimulating. Then there's TVs and there's things moving on the TV all the time. There is the constant need of getting a hold of someone. There is just chronic stress and noise and multitasking where we forget to be present in the moment, to enjoy life. Like, go outside and watch the leaves. Leave your phone inside. Just be present in life. Life is too short not to be present. I encourage you to really ground yourself and get present with that. Because the more present you are, the happier you are. The more grounded you are, the better your nervous system functions, the better your relationships are, the better your life is. The higher the vibration you are, the better opportunities you're going to have. So it all goes back to the nervous system. So ways that you can support your nervous system: breath work. Breath work is huge. I'm working on, I will get those modules in for you guys for that. There are breath work apps, like on the Aura Ring, you can get breath work. You can do breath work on YouTube. There's a lot of free resources for breath work too. If you've never done a guided breathwork session, I will put a link for a woman that does a very good job at guided breathwork, and she can take you through a journey that you might not even realize that you needed. Prayer. Prayer is a great way to calm the nervous system, and it's okay to not know what to pray about. Maybe you can just simply say, God, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. The key is take the time to listen. A lot of times we take the time to pray and we don't take the time to listen and be still and be quiet. So I encourage you to take that quiet time. Meditation is another one. Meditation is often when you connect to that higher source, connect to that higher power, ground your body, and see possibilities. If you're awake between like 2 to 4 a.m., great time to meditate. If you can't sleep, great time to meditate. Great time to pray. So don't think like, oh, this sucks because I can't fall back asleep. And I can attest to this. This happened to me 2 nights ago. My husband got up at 1:30 in the morning to go to work. He had to be to work by 3 a.m. And I couldn't fall back asleep. So I just laid there and I prayed and I did gratitude and I was okay. Would I've loved to probably go back to bed? Yeah. But I was okay in that moment because I wasn't looking at the negative. You got to look at the positive. So I had that time to get that done before my kids got up. So I was grateful for that. Making sure you're doing some gentle movement. We often are a society that sits a lot. And when I say movement, I want this to be movement you enjoy. Maybe you have a very physical job. I want you to be doing movement you enjoy because your body handles that differently. Because you are at a higher state of vibration, you're going to heal better. So I want you to go for a walk. I want you to do some yoga. I want you to do stretching. I want you to do something that you enjoy doing, even if you have a physical job. Do something you enjoy. Make sure you go to bed and get up around the same time every day. That's going to help balance that circadian rhythm. Stick with clean, whole foods. Reduce your toxin exposures. Spend time in nature. We are meant to be outside, not inside. Get that morning sunlight, get that grounding, watch the sunset, go look at the leaves, enjoy nature. And make sure you have supportive relationships and healthy boundaries. This is a hard one. You can't pick your family. You can create boundaries and make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that lift you up and not bring you down. Because if you're constantly around people that are tearing you down all the time, it's going to be really hard to get out of that hole. I promise you, there are people out there that want to lift you up, that want to raise you higher. And you want to surround yourself with people that are doing better than you, because that is going to hold you to a higher standard. So you want to raise yourself up. And you might find this leads to relationships ending. Some people are meant to be here for our whole life. Some people are meant to be here for a season. Some people are meant to be here for a day. Find your people. There is nothing more empowering than finding your people that you resonate with. And it is okay if it doesn't last forever, but it's going to last long enough for you to up level to the next set of people that you are to resonate with. So please, please push yourself, find those relationships, get out and talk to people, go out in public and don't stare at your phone the whole time. Make those human connections, because that is healing and that is what we need. So I'll end with that. And you have all the tools that you need to continue to heal and to continue to calm your nervous system. Now it's just your choice to do it.